Warning, the following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright everyone, I am back for another one of my Pokemon Battle Revolution rant battles. Fuck yeah! So anyway, this time I'm going to be talking about something that happened in my life. So if you don't give a shit about me, my life, or anything that happens to me in my life, I don't blame you, because I honestly wouldn't really give a shit about anyone else's life either, but you can just get your ass the fuck out of here right now, because I'm just going to be giving you guys an update on how my life is going. And, yeah, I mean, it's not going that well, to be honest, but what are you going to do? I mean, sometimes you just got to be able to laugh at yourself, you know? It's the key to life, man. Keep on laughing. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit of an update as far as my schooling is concerned. I'm going to be a little bit quieter about this one so that way it doesn't get into the ear holes of certain people who I don't want my words to penetrate their ear holes. So anyway, yeah, there's a little something regarding one of my classes that just, I feel like it was a smart move on my part. So what actually ended up happening, I was taking a biology class, right? Holy fucking hell, I cannot describe to you with words how much I fucking hate it. I mean, like, especially the fact that it was a lab class where we actually had to do labs and shit. And, like, we were gonna have to, like, dissect, like, fucking sheep brains and shit. Okay, and I'm not a huge fan of that shit in real life. In video games, I have no problem with, like, guts and blood and shit like that. No problem at all. But in real life, not so much. So, what actually ended up happening is one day I was like, yeah, I'm really not in the mood for this biology shit. So I just ditched, you know. I was like, whatever, you know. One class ain't gonna kill me. But then I got to thinking, you know, I got really behind right at the beginning of this, fucking semester, and I know how that went for me last time when I got really behind right off the get-go. I was actually trying to make something of last semester, and it just did not work out because I just got fucking drilled. A bunch of stupid, just really bad circumstances happened right off the get-go, and to be honest, this semester reminded me of a lot like last semester, where, again, this semester I kind of got screwed right off the bat. I got behind right off the get-go, and I wanted to not do that again because I know how well it worked for me last time, aka it didn't. So yeah, it's just a lot of bad circumstances right at the beginning of the semester. Again, it was the Super Bowl, and at the place that I work at a sports bar. It gets super fucking busy. I mean, ridiculously super fucking busy. I mean, so busy that it makes me want to kill myself. So there was that. Also, I got sick right at the beginning of the semester, and that really set me back. So, you know, and then I came up with the idea, you know, sometimes I'd like to think of, or, you know, this actually kind of gave me the idea as actually something that my old Myth and Legends teacher said to me, which I ended up failing that class, but I thought he was a great teacher. He said to me, you know, school is, or I don't know if he actually said this to me, but he was the one that gave me the idea to think like this. You know, school is a lot like a battle. And then I got to thinking, I was actually remembering when me and my stepbro were playing Hyrule Warriors together, and during the final boss where we fight Ganondorf, one of our strategies was we would retreat, gain supplies and magic shit, and then just unleash a magic attack. One of us would go unleash a magic attack on Ganondorf, and while one of us was doing that, the other one would retreat, gain up, you know, find magic shit and magic supplies and shit, and then rush over to Ganondorf, attack with the magic attack, and while they were doing that, the other one would go and just do that and then repeat process. And then I realized, you know what? Sometimes in order to take a step forward, what you need to do is take a step backwards. You know, sometimes a strategic retreat can be the gateway to victory in battle. I've noticed that a lot when I'm playing Hyrule Warriors. Sometimes you just need to back off and just either gain supplies or take some time to analyze the situation, you know, regain your health, regain your composure, and then go back at it. That's part of the advantage of taking a strategic retreat, is that it also, not only can you get your health back and shit, but it gives you time to really think about a strategy of how to go about fighting your battles. And I've used that strategy a lot in Hyrule Warriors, and it definitely helps. But then I thought, you know, maybe that might be the key to beating the battle known as school. Maybe in order to take a step forward, I must first take a step backwards. So what I actually ended up doing is applying this idea of a strategic retreat to school. What I ended up doing was I ended up next week, after the week that I decided to ditch my bio class the first time, I went and what I did was ditched it for a second week. Because of the rules. There's a rule that the teacher can actually drop you from the class if you just, like, don't show up and anything like that. She can drop you from the class after a certain amount of time. So, sure as shit, I didn't show up to class on, you know, for a second week in a row, and I got an email from her yesterday that said, you know, if I don't hear from you within 24 hours, I'm dropping you from the class. And that is exactly what I wanted to happen. I did that on purpose. So I didn't respond to her today. So as of today, I have officially been dropped from that class. I like to think of this as a strategic retreat. And I also think it was a very smart move on my part, because what it'll do is allow me to focus on my other 3 classes that I have. Because I'm not a school person, I'm not good at it. What I need to do now is really focus on these 3 classes. I need to nail the shit out of them. You know, and I feel like this is a smart move, you know? It'll give me more time to focus on the classes that I actually have a half-ass chance of passing, to be honest. And yeah, I also did some basic entry-level research, because I was under the impression that what the fucking counselor had told me was that biology was a required class for my certain degree that I'm getting. And as it turns out, that's not true. Because there are other classes that you can substitute for that, and yeah, I would much rather take a different class other than fucking biology. So, yeah, I feel like it was a very smart move on my part. So now I do only have 3 classes, and I believe that if I put in enough work and actually do some shit this time, I think that I can have a half-ass chance at maybe making something of myself this semester, and at least getting some shit done. Also, I did some basic entry-level research and also discovered that I'm actually a lot closer to getting my degree than I originally had anticipated. I actually have a lot more credits than I thought I did, which is actually really good, you know? So, I'm actually really happy that I decided to do that basic entry-level research. So, yeah, I'm super happy about that, that I'm actually closer to gaining my degree than I originally had anticipated. That's fucking awesome. And, so yeah, that's what I decided to do as far as my school. That's my plan. Is just because in order to take a step forward, it is necessary sometimes to take a step backwards. Really look at something, formulate a game plan, and then attack it. You know, sometimes you can't do it all. Sometimes you just can't do it all. So, okay, fine, you lose a battle, but then you win 3 because you decided to take on less, which in the end allows you to take on more, if you know what I mean. So what, you lose 1 battle, but you win 3? Those are odds that I am definitely happy with, and that I would take any fucking day of the week. So that's my plan for school, taking your strategic retreat in order to win the fight. And I feel like it was a very smart move on my part. And, of course, when I tell my mom, she might be just a little bit pissed off. But once I present her with my findings as far as my basic entry-level research, discovering that I'm actually closer to gaining my degree than I originally thought, you know, I think she will see things my way. And if she doesn't, tough shit. You know what? It's my life. I can do whatever the fucking hell I want. So, she got a problem with it. Tough shit. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got as far as that shit goes. I actually ranted for a pretty decent amount of time there. It was less of a rant and more of a discussion, I guess you could say. That's the funny thing about these rant battles. They're not always ranting, you know? But it's just basically what it is my time to talk about whatever the fuck I want to, so, yeah. Alright, everyone, that'll do for that one. Peace out.